Thank you so much for inviting me for this talk. I will try to be brief because my story is quite long, and the Maidan Museum was founded in times of crisis when Ukraine was facing the revolution of dignity or Maidan events. So this situation forced us to do a lot of things by our intuition, by our previous experience, but of course we needed much more coordination, much more knowledge. We needed support from government. We were lacking the national cultural emergency management system. And all these gaps brought me in 2015 to FAC course, First Aid to Cultural Heritage course, which ICROM, Prince Claus Fund and Smithsonian Institution organized in the Netherlands. We studied ICROM model, the model of response to different disasters, to military conflicts, to emergency situations, and finally all that knowledge which were mostly accepted by me in theoretical, but the final exercise, I remember it very well. It was like a simulation exercise, very well planned, very nicely fulfilled by the participants and by the organizers. But unfortunately in Ukraine we needed no simulations for such like trainings. We had so many cultural heritage objects being damaged or completely destroyed. Knowledge which I brought from that my first encounter with the world level experience and methodology developed by ICROM so relevant to my context. I was looking forward. I felt hunger for some methodological material, for handouts, for some printed information, for the researches, for printed books. Later, I collected a lot of publications being abroad on this topic. And I was so happy to find a few years ago that ICROM managed to collect all the information which we were taught, which we discussed, into a very practical handbook and toolkit. And it was so nicely published. It was my dream to translate it,
yes,
to share this knowledge with Ukrainian audiences. Because we are facing the problem that not many Ukrainian cultural heritage professionals speak foreign languages. And it is important to make this information available, accessible to them. The biggest barrier in our context was the fact that cultural heritage was not the priority for our government, for their emergency services, for law enforcement. Cultural heritage is somewhere on the background, especially in military conflicts when the biggest priority is to protect people, to save human lives, to provide people with shelter, with food, with medicine of the soul, of the brain, even in the body, because intangible traditions help people be strong, especially in times of crisis. Among our first efforts was raising awareness about the importance of cultural heritage, and Ukraine joined ICROM on 2016, becoming its 135th member. It became a very important step for raising awareness on a governmental, on a high level, on a vertical, and then a publication of some methodological issues was also very important because it helped us to show, look, there are some concrete instruments which were tested in other contexts, in other countries. They work very well. These are international standards. The most rewarding for me are to do things on global, international level and on local level. First of all, when we see how important the work is for local communities, when, for example, we come to the damaged local church or cultural house or the museum and we see how local people express their gratitude that their local heritage space is important for other people. In Ukraine, from outside, I do remember, and we have a lot of pictures, very emotional pictures, when, for example, first mission of ICOMOS came to Ukraine, and in June 2022, we've been to several damaged cities like Chernihiv and or Zhytomyr, and we met local people, and they really could not talk without tears, and they hugged, in particular, Aparna, Teresa, Zainab, because they were so happy that they are not alone, that there are professionals, there are people who would like to help them to protect and to reconstruct, restore important cultural heritage, which connects them not only to their past, but to their future, connects them not only to their ancestors, but to their grandchildren and great-children. They would like to leave something behind after their lives, and they feel this support. And the other the most rewarding thing is on international level, that the encouragement from international organizations, from my international colleagues who really encourage us, saying you are doing important work, we would like to support you, how we can help you.